Hey Rick,
Hey, Megan.
here we are. It's Wednesday. It's not
It
Tuesday.
is my
And
fault.
stuff happens, as we said in our text
Oh boy.
yesterday.
Oh
Stuff
yeah.
happens. So
It's been
I know you're
crazy.
getting settled into your new company and all of that kind of stuff, and you've got a coaching event coming up, and the
Hmm.
wheels on the bus go round and round, as we learned in
They do.
preschool.
That's for sure. Sometimes they come off, trying to keep them
Yeah.
coming off.
Sometimes
But
you
so
got to
far,
tighten
so
the lug
good.
a little. Yeah. So far, so good. But it is Wednesday, so.
It is.
All right, let's chit chat.
Hmm.
I've been having a feeling, and I know this is weird to say, but after, so many years in the real estate
Hmm.
business, I have feelings. And then I start to see the things that are like, oh, okay. So here's what happened to me this week, and that's what got me digging into this. And then I got my OC housing report, and I was like, substantiated. So we have a client that is looking to spend like 1 million to 1,250,000 on a house, North Orange
Hmm.
County area.
Hmm.
And we had another client last year with the same search criteria. And I was like, all right, cool. And so I plugged it in and I was like, what? There were 78 houses that met their criteria, which is very loose in North Orange County between a
Wow.
million and a
Wow.
million two fifty. And I'm like, last year I was scraping at the every which way I could to try to find three houses to show these
Yeah, maybe
people. Now
three.
this year, I mean, it was unbelievable. So I said, well, there's got to be
Hmm.
a lot more inventory than in previous years. All these years we've been having this podcast, we've been saying
Hmm.
inventory, inventory, inventory. People are not selling. There's not enough houses available for people.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's what drives the prices up. And it's very discouraging for people, buyers, we should say.
Hmm.
And so here I got my OC housing report, and it says that there is a crack in the market, and the crack is the increase of inventory. But check this out. The current active inventory, and this is just broad, right? But if you really want to break it down into different price ranges, that's another thing. But the current active inventory has increased by 31% in Orange County in the last 2 months. So,
Hmm.
Rick, that is, you know how percentages can sometimes be a bunch of silly games, but that
Hmm.
is 1,003 homes have hit the market in the past 2 months. Okay. Last year, there were only 228 houses that came up for sale during the same period. And in 2023, it was 142. So you could see we are way over what has been
Hmm.
happening in the previous years. And I bet you if you looked really into and I didn't see that here, but if you really looked into the price range of these houses, you get sort of into a whole nother story, like the
Hmm.
million to 1,250,000. It's like the entry level house in Orange County.
It
And
is.
yeah, and so that's when, oh, man, sellers are going to have to get real savvy because you've got to really, if you're in that price range, you had better stand out.
Hmm.
Your house
Hmm.
better, your realtor better be doing some fantastic marketing, photos, video,
All of it.
accessibility.
All of it.
Don't be a silly goose about letting
Yeah.
people come in to see your house. You're putting your
Hmm.
house up for sale. Have a showing plan ahead of time. Okay. But yeah, I'm just feeling like buyers in that price range with so many choices. We'll see how it all sort of pencils out, but I'm thinking that finally the buyers will have more choices and maybe
Hmm.
a little room to breathe. And maybe for some of these houses that are overpriced, maybe an opportunity to negotiate the price a little bit. I don't know.
Listen, I think that's great news, by the way. We've been really praying for this for years, it seems like.
Mhm.
Really,
Mhm.
we have. And by the way, I think people say, well, that 31% increase, that's kind of scary. Well, no, that's kind of a normal market now. We're more
Bingo.
balanced.
Yeah.
This is not a this is a more of a balanced market where you level the playing field where buyers have a fair chance of getting a home accepted at a fair price. And
Hmm.
I'm listen, I know the last few years have been kind of crazy and it is what it is, but darn it, I'm ready for buyers to make an offer and go, hey, I kind of like that deal. Let's accept it. rather than going, it's like being, otherwise it's like being invited to a cage fight. And guess what? I get tired of going to cage fights.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so listen, I like that 31% increase. That's kind of where we, in my opinion, that's where we have to go to balance out this market and give buyers more opportunities to find the house they really like.
Agreed. I'm
That's how
looking
I
at the
read it.
graph too, and it's the the 3-year average from 2017 to
Hmm.
2019 was about, at this time, was
Hmm.
almost 6,000 houses on the market, and the market at that time, 2017 to 2019, was a little bit soft. It was a little bit of a soft market.
A
I
little bit.
remember
Right before COVID.
2019. Yeah,
Hmm.
I remember 2019. I thought, what's going on here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Something's gonna do something. It was kind
Hmm.
of weird. But right now we have, at this same time, we have just a little over 4,000 houses for sale. So we're still 2,000 less
Less than 8 years ago.
than 2017 to 2019 when the market got a
Hmm.
little bit soft. So I
Hmm.
think we're in a little bit of a sweet spot right now, Rick.
Yeah, that's kind of that balance we talked about, right? That's kind of the
Yep.
balanced market. And it's just really where it should be. And let's hope that it kind of stays here for a while. Because, I think in my opinion, Megan, buyers have to catch their breath a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
They're really beat up by, and we know this, we've been through this for a long time now. Buyers make offers for 6 months to a year, getting beat out every time. And that's just exhausting for home
Mm-hmm.
buyers. And it's not fair sometimes. Listen, they do get a house eventually, but that process becomes almost a grind rather than a fun event,
Mm-hmm.
right? We don't want to have the grind necessarily. So I'm happy where the market is right there with those numbers, and 31% increase. It's still lower than it was 5 or 7 years ago. It's not like it's a glut of inventory. It's not.
Right.
And for
Right.
a county the size of Orange,
Mm-hmm.
that's not unreasonable at all.
Right. It's still
Yeah.
a very low number, but it's at least
Hmm.
people have choices. But like I said, I mean, sellers have got to be really super savvy and understand. This is why it's important when you choose a realtor to work with, that you're choosing somebody who, that we're not giving a commercial for us at all. I'm saying,
Right.
we're here to help people, to give good
Hmm. Hmm.
information so that they can go out and have a successful experience. We want everybody to have a successful experience. And
Uh-huh.
you have to pick a realtor who
Right.
is an active, this full-time
Uh-huh.
job, doing it all the time, because week by week things can change. And so if you haven't sold a house in 6 months, you might not know where, you might have a different approach and that approach was wrong.
Right. Right.
So, and now it's going to cost you time. And speaking of time, when there's an
Hmm.
increase of houses on the market, an increase of inventory, you also have an increase of time on the market if you
Hmm.
didn't employ a different strategy to begin
Hmm.
with. So if your
Hmm.
house is
Hmm.
overpriced, then plan on open houses, showings, all this
Hmm.
stuff going on for
Hmm.
weeks and weeks
Hmm.
until you get a buyer, lower the price, whatever it is to do, you're going to do to try to get people's attention.
Yeah, and you back to your point a minute ago. Well, I mean, this is the time, especially this time where home buyers and home sellers, it's
Mm-hmm.
really critical from my point of view to work with a realtor and a lending team that have experience and they're engaged in this, by the way, full time with a clear plan of action.
Mm-hmm.
Because I see too many situations where someone chooses a lender or a realtor based on their neighbor did a deal, or they know a friend of a friend kind of thing, and they're nice people. I get that. That's all cool. That's good stuff, but that's not going to necessarily win the offer.
Mm-hmm.
It's not
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
necessarily
gotta
going
be.
to get the best buyer to your property. And
Yeah.
so I think it's important to be mindful of that. That it's important to have that game plan. And we've talked about this a lot over the last several years, and that is to be the people who are the most prepared win. And
Mm-hmm.
that goes in the same that same that follows through as well to the realtor and the lenders. The most prepared people in our business win the offers. They get the best buyers. They get the best offers accepted. You just got to
Mm-hmm.
be prepared. You have to have a plan.
Yep.
Hope is not a strategy here.
Oh my gosh, isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
All
mean,
good
before
stuff
you
though.
sit down with the seller, you're like, well, where are you going to go from here? What's your timing? I mean, it's a
Yeah,
whole
right.
thing with the buyer, same thing. So, well, I think
Absolutely.
that's good, especially for this time of year, because, summer, spring is obviously like the biggest, best time to really
Mhm,
do a real estate transaction in Orange County.
mhm,
And summer has like these ebb and flow kind of pieces to
mhm,
it.
mhm.
So it'll be interesting to see how this all pans out.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Time will
yeah,
tell for sure.
yep,
Always
yep.
does.
But we're prepared. We'll help you be prepared. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, let us know. And I'm going to take this moment here to plug an event that I'm having, and I'm going to I'll make sure I post the information here. But we're talking about being the most prepared. We're having a trust and estate sale uh, little get together. It's not a webinar. It's not a seminar. It's a class that we're having here at the office.
Oh, cool.
I have an estate attorney coming in to help people know, how they should carry their house and the trust or what they need to do and estate planning, which, you don't have to be rich to have an estate plan. It's nice to leave a clear plan of action for your untimely or timely passing that your
Hmm.
family can count on, that your
Hmm.
things are done with the way that you intended. And if you're not in probate, then your family
Right.
gets
Oh boy.
more of your wealth that you've built for them.
No doubt about that. Well, that's good advice for sure to go to your seminar, your
Yep.
workshop at the office, which is cool.
Yeah. 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 All right, Rick, I appreciate you and
Appreciate you,
have fun with
Megan.
your coaching event. You're doing a great job just trying to stay on top of everything.
Yeah, thank
And
you. I appreciate that. It's
we
all
look
good.
forward to hearing about it next week.
Awesome. Thank you, Megan. Appreciate it.
All right, take
Talk later.
care.